So in this lab, we're going to create a new content type in Drupal and give it a few fields, and then use a Drupal module called Devel to generate some content so we don't have to type it in ourselves, and then use the content overview page to take a look at that new content. So let's go back to our sandbox and do that. So on our website here, I'm going to go to Structure, Content Types, and there's the article and basic page that Drupal gave us, and we're going to add a new content type. We're going to call this content type research paper, and then we're going to click the Save and Manage fields so that we can add some fields to it. By default, Drupal gives it a title and a body. We could get rid of the body, but we'll keep that so we can have an abstract for the research papers, and then we're going to click Add Field to add some new fields. So the first one we'll add is, let's add an image field, and you can see in Drupal 8 there are a lot more default fields, including the date field, than there were in Drupal 7. So we'll call that the hero image, save and continue. And we'll limit it to 1, so the defaults here are good. And let's make it a required field, and we won't worry about any of the other defaults. These are all pretty good for right now. So now we've added that field. Let's add another one. Let's have a file field. We'll call this documents so that the researchers can upload PDF files. We can, as you'll see, we can set that to other default file types as well. In this case, let's set it to unlimited so they can put 1, 2, 3, 4, as many as they want into each research paper node. Let's make it a required field, and here under allowed file extensions, we'll allow PDFs, and let's do some Word and PowerPoints. You could add more file types here as necessary, and we'll just take defaults and everything else. So I'll click the Save Settings. So now our content type has 3 fields, and we'll add a last one. We want to let the researchers categorize their content, and we do that with a term reference to a vocabulary or a taxonomy. Remember, we built that taxonomy in a previous step. So we'll call this category as a field. And we'll have to tell Drupal which vocabulary we want to use. By default, we got the first one, which is the one we built, paper category, so that's okay. And we'll set this to unlimited, so a research paper might be in chemistry and biology, and that'll facilitate that. So we'll save that, and we'll make it a required field, so they have to categorize each research paper. So now we have our content type built out with all of these nice fields. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click over to this Manage Display tab. Drupal also comes with what we call image styles or image presets. And so for the hero image, I might be worried about what kind of image they're going to upload. So I can go here to the little gear icon. Drupal out of the box comes with large, medium, and thumbnail image styles, and I can create more. So just to at least know the size that this image will be displayed at, not necessarily what's uploaded, I'll use the large image when it's when the image is displayed on a research paper node. So now we have a new content type with all these fields and a nice display for the image. So I could go to content, add content, and now I can add research papers. But we're going to, just for testing purposes, we're going to use a module called Devel. So I'm going to go over to Extend, which shows me all the modules on the site. And I'm going to look for one called Devel. This is an optional module. I added it to our distribution. And you can see here, it looks like I already enabled them, but we would checkbox them to enable them and save that configuration. So now, basically, by having turned Devel on, I have that tool available. So now when I go over to configuration and I scroll down here, I get some new options here. One is generate content. So let's click on generate content. What kind of content do I want to make? I want to make some nodes of the research paper, and I'll just make 50 of them. That's the default. Click on generate. So rather than having to type these in myself, Drupal is going to generate, the Devel module is going to generate a bunch of content for me. And if I go over to the content admin page and filter by research paper, you already can see stuff there. there's a whole bunch of 50 research papers that have been built. If I can go look at one of them, it's got some Lipsomorium text in it. It's got an image. It's got a document. So it's a nice way to sort of, and it's got some categorizations, nice way to quickly be able to generate some content that we'll use in the next lab. So that's that. We'll see you in the next lab.